And while the left is pushing out the old guard, AOC seems to be throwing her hat right into the ring to be the party's leader.
I'm a girl from the Bronx. To be welcomed here in this state, all of us together, seeing our common cause, this is what this country is all about. Don't let them trick us into thinking we are enemies. Don't let them trick us into thinking we can be separated into rural and urban, black and white and Latino. We are one.
AOC has spent the last few months with Bernie Sanders traveling the country, pulling in some big crowds.
First class.
Fighting a non-existent oligarchy. But not every Democrat is a fan of this big traveling show. Michigan Senator Elissa Slotkin is calling out Democrats for using the term oligarchy, saying that it does not resonate with real people, while also blasting the party's woke message, which sounds like a pretty direct shot at AOC's policies.
Together, these bills not only stop climate change, they tackle the intersecting crises of climate, economic inequality, and racial justice.
Medicare for all would save the American people a very large amount of money. And capitalism has not always existed in the world, and it will not always exist in the world.
And down in Georgia, Stacey Abrams is looking for a comeback. This two-time failed gubernatorial candidate wants to make another run for the state's top spot, but has her own radical ideas slowing her down.
But we must all embrace that from agriculture to healthcare to entrepreneurship, America is made stronger by the presence of immigrants, not walls.
You would be supportive of non-citizens voting?
I wouldn't oppose it. I mean, I actually think that there are some cases where 16-year-olds should be allowed to cast their vote and cast their ballot.
A little passion in my voice because DEI is important to me.
Oh, my goodness. Is this the moderate wing versus, the liberal wing, or is there a whole level of liberal battle going on as well?
I think there is definitely a battle, an infight that we're going to see sort of ramp up over the next several months because as we get closer to the midterms, they are desperate to regain power. Remember, if they don't get the midterms, you've got 2 more years of all Republican in power and President Trump, no holds barred. Here's the problem for the Democrats as I see it. No matter what they say today about their policies, Anita nailed it. If you don't tell me what you stand for, and the majority of the people connect with what you stand for, you're not going to be in power except in those pockets of blue. Look at a county map. If you ever get a chance, look at a county map across this country. It is a sea of red for a reason. The overwhelming majority of Americans believe in some basic principles. Talk about those if you want to win elections. If you don't, you'll keep losing, and that's what they've been doing.
And there is a progressive wing that is really diving into these ideas against the Elissa Slotkins that are trying to pull the party back to the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Elissa Slotkin, I mean, she had a great point. You can't just say we're fighting the oligarchy. It's just not enough. I mean,
Exactly.
Jason, right. I mean, you've run campaigns. You were the candidate. You've got to have something to say instead of we don't like what the other side is doing.
Well, this is why the Democrats' polling numbers are at their all-time worst, because they just don't have a message. It's not enough to be anti-Trump, anti-common sense, look, we're just going to go the opposite. We're the resistance movement. We're trying to get the country back on track. Yeah. America first is something that resonates with the American people. So I look at it a little differently in that I think it's the Republicans' opportunity in the sun to produce. If they get the economy moving in the right direction, there's more safety, security at the border. They've already checked that box. That'll continue to happen. If the world is a safer place, then the American public will allow the Republicans to continue on and thrive and win these seats. But if they don't produce, that creates this opportunity for the radical left AOC, Stacey Abrams of the world that I just think, I mean, you keep putting up the losing candidates, you're going to keep getting that same result. But they have to come up with a message. But Republicans, if they keep playing their A game, they will continue to win.
Can I add one more thing real quickly? Stacey Abrams talking about having 16-year-olds vote. I've been 16. I was an idiot. I'm an idiot now. 16-year-olds voting. Whenever I hear the Democrats talk about this, let's lower the voting age. Think about the capacity. I think brain development says you're not even fully developed until you're like maybe 25 when you're a male and probably 18 or 20 when you're a female. The truth is, having 16-year-olds as your backstop, let's get them out there and voting. That's the ticket. That's idiocy, and that's not going to, again, win you more votes. I don't believe.
Oh, All right. Coming up, a major athletic company could be funding a new study on trans children. And new information is revealed in the Idaho college student murders as the death penalty for accused killer Brian Kohberger remains on the table. A live report next.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.